Sawadee tuk konka, Dajahao, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am giving my 7 thoughts on what it's like to learn more than one language. So I'm learning 2 languages at the moment. I would say I'm like tremmy. I am semi-trilingual, I would say anyway. Fluent native English speaker, learning Chinese and learning Thai, if you didn't know. Before I jump into the video, I just wanted to make a quick announcement that I have just opened up an Etsy store with a language learning notebook. It is a printable PDF. The link is down below. Please do have a look. It is what I personally use in my language learning studies. There will be more designs coming out and other styles of notebooks. It's not just language learning. Let us begin with the video. The first thing I have noticed that happens when you start learning more than one language is that you reply in the wrong language. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have been in class or I have been talking to a friend and let's say I'm speaking Thai. I want to say, for example, so, and for some reason my brain goes soi, which is Chinese for so, and my brain is like, yeah, that totally makes sense, and I'm like And I've done the same with in the reverse. So I've been speaking to my Chinese friends, for example, and then I'll be like prawa, and they're like prawa. Is she speaking Chinese? Side note, common mistakes, for example, I was speaking Thai and I wanted to say sorry, so I want to say "Khotod ka." Do you know what I said? I said "Sawadee ka." I was like, ah, what's happening? Another thing I've noticed is that certain words just kind of sound better in the other language. Like it just kind of hits a bit better, you know, compared to English this is. So for example, I love saying narak. Is that just not the best? And like ku'ai, tell me no more. I love it compared to like cute. It's not, it doesn't have that same And I love with Chinese, for example, like in English we might say, oh really, did that happen? Or like really, da. And then Chinese like gender ma, gender. I'm like, oh, it just sounds better. My third observation kind of links in with the second one, and that is in my head I'll sometimes think in the other language. So I'm not talking like as in full on thought conversation happening in my head because you girls not there yet. But if I'm doing something, I might think things in Thai or Chinese. So for example, you know when you see something you're like, but why? In my head I'm like, come mai. Or if I'm doing something, I'll be like, where's my shouji? But in my head, I'm saying shouji for my phone. I do that a lot. I don't know why. My fourth one is shocking someone who can speak both languages. Now this has happened to me once. No? Yes, twice. But mainly once. I was speaking to this person who could speak Thai and Chinese. They didn't know, they were Chinese and they didn't know I could speak Thai. When I say speak, we're using it loosely here guys, you know my level. When we were speaking in Chinese, this person mentioned how they lived in Thailand and they could speak Thai, and we were speaking Chinese. And I was then like, oh really? I kind of like started to learn Thai and they were like, oh. And then you know those things where someone tries to like kind of trip you up? So the person was like, okay, Sawadee krab, and I was like, Sawadee ha, and they said something that I couldn't hear because the connection was really bad. And then I was just like, fang mei o ka, and they're like, fei chang hao, and it was amazing to see their face. But if I could have recorded the reaction, it was hilarious. I loved it because it was like a genuine like, whoa, you can actually speak those 2 languages that I can also speak. And you kind of like bond on a different level, do you know what I mean? Number 5 is a kind of weird one. So sometimes I'll be speaking in one language and I then distract myself because I then question if I use the right language. If I'm speaking in Thai, I'll say something and then in my head, I don't know why this is, it might be a confidence thing, I'm not sure. But in my head I'm like, wait, was that Thai or was that Chinese? Am I speaking Thai or am I speaking Chinese? And then by that point, I've like missed what's been said next and I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what's been said. I'm like, Raina? Let me know in the comments if that's happened to you. Like, you'll be speaking in the language, but then you question if you actually spoke that language or you spoke a different language you speak. I'd love to know if that's just me being crazy. Another thing that I've noticed is my grammar is trash, because I'm not only but thinking of English grammar, I'm now thinking of Thai grammar and Chinese grammar. You know, sometimes I come up with sentences and I'm like, I don't even know what grammar scheme or like program or like anything that this is from, okay? I don't know if this is English grammar I'm giving you. I don't know if it's Chinese grammar. I don't know if it's Thai grammar. Just know it's grammar. Whether it's right or wrong, it's above me now.
It's above me now.
I have just done my best. Please have mercy on me. My final observation that I've noticed in learning more than one language is that I now have 3 personalities. Yeah. Who knew that you could have multiple personalities just by learning a language? Yet here we are. My first personality is English Victoria. My second personality is me when I speak Chinese, because I go very different and I sound very different. And then my third is Thai, where I'm overly polite and the sweetest person, butter wouldn't melt, because I'm just innocent. That is me speaking Thai. So for an example, I would say, today I went to work. In Chinese, I would say, 今天我去工作. Third personality is my Thai personality. So I would say, วันนี้ฉันไปทำงานนะคะ. I just feel more polite in Thai. So yeah, I've noticed that I am slightly different when I speak each language, but I think that's natural. Like, I've noticed that, for example, my Chinese friends, when they speak Chinese, they're one way, and then when they speak English, they're another way. It's probably because when you're learning, you've got a lot going on in your head. You're trying to think of the language, trying to think of what to say and how to say it, and you're also taking on the cultural norms. So Thai, in my opinion, is very polite language by nature, so then you kind of take on those norms with your ka or krab, with your na and other ending particles, pi, nong. So you've got all of these sort of honorifics as well. Those are the observations or things that I've noticed since learning more than one language. Let me know down below what you think, if you're learning more than one or if you're learning one. Have you noticed any changes in yourself, especially the personality one? I'll be very interested to know if other people have noticed a shift in their personality when they shift languages. I'd love to know. So drop it down below. As it brings us to the end of the video, you know the drill. Please do smash the subscribe button, the like, the share. Send some love in the comments. As always, have a blessed day, and until next time, Sawadee tuk kong ka, Sajian. Goodbye everyone.